So she's like, oh, the doctor's going to come and see you and explain. I said, explain what? She said the x-rays that they took. So I'm like, okay. So when the doctor comes in, he's like, how have you been functioning this way he's like, when did these symptoms starting? I'm like, when I started getting the fevers. He's like, yeah. I was like, I started getting them like months ago, but I kept thinking like it was COVID. But when the fever would break and I would just go back to normal, I knew it wasn't COVID. But yeah, it started a couple of months ago. And he was like, you must have a really high tolerance to pain. And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, you really have a strong. He's like, how are you still walking around like that? And I'm like, I'm confused. He was like, okay, so he took a piece of paper and he's like, you have kidney stones. I was like, oh, okay. Because one of my managers, like a couple of weeks before we went home, she had kidney stones. So I was like, oh, okay, so I know like they're going to send me home because the way one of my supervisors had kidney stones, all they did was give her some pain medicine and said she had to pass it through. So I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm good. He's like, you have the rarest kidney stones. And I said, what? Rare kidney stones? I didn't even know there was different type of kidney stones. So he draws what the kidney stones that I have. And he's like, you have 3 big ones. And he drew a circle and like lines around them. And he was like, these kidney stones are very rare. They're like calcium, like buildup. And so when they end up like sprouting out, so that way it's like, I don't know what you call them, but it looked like them star things that get caught on your clothes when you're outside, when your grass is too high. It looked like those. And he's like, these you're not going to be able to pass. You're going to have surgery. And on top of that, because you have 3 big ones like that, and you've been supposedly, because I had a UTI, the UTI ended up because it went so long without being treated, I ended up getting an infection. So that infection from my UTI went to my kidneys. So with those 3 big kidney stones, I wasn't filtering out all the proper waste that I was supposed to. He was like, you didn't notice, like, would you burn or anything like that while you were peeing? I said, no, I wasn't burning like that, but I do know, like, I wasn't going to the bathroom as much, and when I would go to the bathroom, it wasn't a lot, but I was just thinking, like, maybe I'm not drinking enough water. And then again, like I said, the toilet in that apartment kept backing up so many times, like, I was trying not to use the bathroom constantly because it was always constantly stocking up. So I was like, okay, we just need to stop using the bathroom so much. Being ignorant. That's how I would like make things okay, like in my head. Like I would just make excuses for it. So he's like, oh, we gotta first because if you would have waited till Saturday, that infection would have went into your bloodstream. And he's like, and you know when an infection goes into your bloodstream, that's not a good thing, right? I said, yeah, I could die. I was like, oh my God. Like, he's like, good thing you came in today. So I'm like freaking out. Just freaking out because I'm like, oh my God, because I really was going to wait until Saturday. Like, that was my plan. Like, because I was like, I don't have to take off. You know, I'm already going to have to take off from when I close. And when they give me the date, I'll just give them the date. But at this time, they were trying to make us, we couldn't really take off because it was COVID and everybody was at the hospital. So then it was like, we got to first get the infection out of you. So we're gonna have to put a nephro, I forgot what they call it, a bag in you to because my kidneys wasn't filtering out, so they had to literally put one of them bags where my kidney was to filter it out. So now I ended up calling my manager, or I text her or something like that, because it was still like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. So I ended up texting her, look, I'm in the emergency room. They say I have kidney stones. I'm going to have surgery. So yeah, I can't come in tomorrow because I'm in the hospital. And then my mom calls me, which really like, I was like, that's why I was like, some Haitians just like, I said, my mom still had her ways. So I think something was wrong with her car that time. And so when she calls me, she was using my car to go to work because I worked at home or whatever. And she was like, where are you? I said, I'm in the ER. And it looks like I'm going to get admitted because I have kidney stones. Her first reaction is, well, you know I have to go to work tomorrow. Why didn't you just call? Why would you take the car? When I said I started tearing up, like, it was like, I don't know if she knew what kidney stones were, or she might have thought like I don't know what was, but that hurt my feelings because I'm like, this man just came in here and told me I was on the brink about to be dead. And all you worried about is getting to work? So she was like, so she's like, she's just gonna have my brother Uber her to work or whatever, and he's gonna come and get my car. I'm like, okay, whatever. After that, I didn't even want to talk to her. So when they come in, they bring me my breakfast. So I start eating it, and I'm already traumatized. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have an appetite, but I started eating the eggs. The eggs was nasty. Everything else didn't seem like it was appetizing. I just lost my appetite, but I did like eat like a two of the two spoonfuls of the egg.